This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast Sunday edition. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios here in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Shorts Guy, Scotty, a Sirius XM Liquid Metal, and Beer Baron, who is on assignment temporarily at the moment as he left the camera. But that's okay. That's okay.
All right.
He's got a good excuse. He's a family man. He has to take care of business.
Take care of business?
Yeah, take care of business.
Go to the bathroom?
I hope it's not that. At least, if it is, I hope he muted his microphone.
It'd be like the Naked Gun. Remember when he goes and he got that? And he's peeing.
I hadn't seen that movie in years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I finally got a reference that Sam knew. There we go. Doesn't happen very often. Usually Sam just looks at me with a blank stare, just like, nope, never seen that one.
Yeah, not this time.
Nope. Yep. But
Oh, there he is.
oh, there he
done.
is. All right, thank
Oh,
goodness.
I
Thank
hope you
goodness.
washed your hands.
Yeah, seriously.
No, it's nothing. I had to get the dog and bring him in the other room. Sorry.
Yep.
We're gonna stick with you were doing a Naked Gun, Frank Drebin, peeing in the bathroom type of thing.
I don't even know if we're live right now. Are we live or
We are. We are.
Oh, we're on live. Oh, cool. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
We're not just live. We're live.
Ran out of the
Or
room.
live. Yeah.
Live. God. Good thing I didn't come in here and start dropping F-bombs. And like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, Devils After Dark on Friday, I went back to the video, Scotty. That Siegenthaler fan was absolutely hilarious. Just absolutely.
What happened?
Our dancer?
Happened?
Yeah.
Well, we had a little bit of a brouhaha forming in the behind Sam Wu when he was giving some stellar analysis of the game. And then the brouhaha kind of broke up, but then we had a fan figure out that she was on camera and decided to treat us to like a 10-minute dance celebration in the middle of the street. And then there was some dude just watching her in the car, and then some other people came along, and then it was a whole extravaganza. She might have had 1 or 2 or 10 adult beverages, I'm not sure, but she was having a good time and she was enjoying herself.
How many does that make for you? I don't know, about a baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen?
Yeah,
Dave
feeling the
Singer
vibes.
concurs. She was a good dancer out there on the streets of Newark, living it up.
Living it up.
We're gonna have to make sure she comes back. Hopefully she'll come back.
If you
and
do see it
photobomb
again, though,
Sam.
if you do see it again, you whoever's Sam, if you're in the house, you have to try to send somebody outside to see if they can bring her in. You put her on the microphone real quick and be like, "Hey, dancing." What? Oh man. See, only people from Central New Jersey that know the bar in Middlesex. Come on, Scotty. What's the name of the Dancing Francine? Come on, bud. Oh man, what the Kerwin's Bar. If you've ever been to Kerwin's Bar, there was a woman there that she was very famous, Dancing Francine. I think she passed away.
I think you forgot to put up the quotation marks there for famous,
Oh, local, yeah, right? Like a local hero. It goes into
local
a
legend
house and saves children.
I guess that's where I grew up in Middlesex, and I never heard of this person before. So I don't know.
You never been to Kerwin's?
I don't know, some dancing Fran or whatever. Who is it?
Dude, she was like a 98-year-old woman, or she always looked like she was 98 years old, and then she would like just get her
the liquor
on
and the cigarettes. Huh?
Get in the middle of the bar, just like start going. Anyways, off the rails right before we start.
Yeah,
but I look 98.
52. It's average kids you smoke a carton a day.
Nobody. If you knew the Mud Lady in
the
Morristown,
Mud Lady.
the Mud Lady.
The
I
Mud
don't
Lady.
want to know
The
what
Mud
that's
Lady.
about.
Yep.
Short guy. Yep.
All right, everyone.
No-
Everyone could give their famous local legends in the YouTube.
No,
chat or
no,
the
no,
Facebook chat.
nobody's. Or
Yeah.
the,
What's up, everybody on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, all those other fun places. So let's answer the question: what will the Devils' response be this week, especially tomorrow when we play the hated, dreadful Rags? So, what do you think is going to happen? Because that was not a good game against the old Islanders.
It was like a two-parter. I feel like watching that game by the end.
Is it choose
No,
your
by
own
the-
adventure
by-
book?
Well, the first part was really
Pretty
bad,
much.
and then you could see they got pissed off, especially Jack Hughes, and he was like a man on a mission in that third period. I mean, he picked up a goal. They had a couple other opportunities. I think he assisted on the other one as well. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember off the top. I know he had an assist that night too, but he looked like a man on a mission, and he played a friggin' 7-minute shift at the end of the game. He had a 10-second rest when they had a face-off, in the defensive zone, and they had to put Schmid back in goal. But Lindy Ruff pulled the goalie. It was like 7:30ish to go in the game, and Jack Hughes like never came off the ice except for that one face-off. Literally 10 seconds. Devils won it. They got it out of the zone. Schmid went to the bench, and Jack came right off, and he was on for that entire time. So I liked
602.
the fire that I saw from them in those final minutes, like really pushing hard. And in a game that was 5-2, it ended up 6-4, and the Devils, they did have an opportunity there at the end. There were a couple, they hit the crossbar twice within the last 2 minutes. Nico shot that one, like just over the top of the net. They had plenty of good opportunities. So I feel like that game was like the tale of two teams there. The team that we saw in the first two games of the season in like the first period and half. And then after that, they finally like woke up after that second period into the third and, played how we normally see them play. And Akira Schmid for giving up 2 goals was outstanding. And I don't know if you could really blame Vanacek on some of those goals either. There were some defensive breakdowns.
Defense didn't exist in the game. Defense was non-existent.
Which is going to, unfortunately, we're going to get these games like this. It's compounded by the fact that it was, a divisional game. So that sucks even more with those 2 points. It's almost like a 4-point game right there because it's in division. But to see the team to see the team respond like that, and I think that Hughes shift, everything that I've seen said that Hughes shift was clocked at 6 minutes and 2 seconds.
Insane.
Is that what it was?
Which is
602?
Yeah, 602, which is wild to be out there for 602. Usually, if you're out there for 602, it's either because you're short, you're short guys on your bench, or you're that
in a beer league game.
Yeah,
well, they were
you're
short
the jerk
guys
in the
too,
beer
though.
league.
They lost
Yeah,
Miles
well.
Wood. They lost
Yeah,
Miles
but
Wood.
it's just-
I think that 602 was the straight shift, and I think like for the 10-second rest, he was also on the ice for like a minute and a half
Prior
before
to
that. Yeah,
That's still a hell of a
it
shift.
was bonkers, dude. That was like that's what a superstar does. We haven't
at the
seen
end of the
anything like
game,
that since
too.
like Kofi.
So like,
Yeah.
and that's the end of the game. So you have to assume that his on ice time, which I'm just shooting from the hip on this because I haven't seen the stats, but you have to assume that his on ice time leading up to that probably was somewhere near 20 minutes already. So you're asking him to he went out there and played an additional 6 after playing probably closer to 22, 23. Actually, let me look at his total on ice time for that game because I'm curious of that.
I'll tell
And
you what,
Suki
for those
points it
people
out here
that
too. He had 2 saves.
he did have
the
2
one where he,
saves.
like, batted away with his gloves, and the
Yeah.
other one where he like kicked it out like right after that at the empty net.
That should show up on the stat line, by the way. That should be, like if you're a running back in the NFL and they're like, oh, you had a throwing touchdown, a running touchdown, and a passing touchdown. That should be, he had a goal, an assist, and 2 saves. That should be like the Gordie Howe
Fantasy
hat
stats.
trick. The Gordie Howe hat trick is a fight, an assist, and a goal. This should be the Hughes hat trick should be a save, a goal, and assist.
So I was right. His total on ice time for that game was 26 minutes 13 seconds. So that means he had about 20 minutes and 10 second No, 20 minutes and 11 seconds leading up to that, and he played an additional 6 afterwards. So
That's insane.
that's nuts. That's a lot of ice time.
Scotty
They were
brought that
down
up.
two guys though, because Wood went out with the hit, and then McLeod went out with the misconduct until like midway through the third period. So Jack got a lot of double shifts right there.
Yeah, but you normally you see those kind of numbers with obviously not that one shift, but you see those kinds of numbers with like your top pairing defenseman. You'll get like 24, 25 minutes, which is pretty typical. Kovalchuk, like you mentioned before, Kovalchuk used to log 24 minutes like it was his job when he played with the Devils.
It was his job.
It was his job, and he did it okay. He did it okay.
He freaking quit
for a while until he quit like a bum.
Yeah,
bum. Nobody likes you anymore.
Bum.
Even though I still have your jersey.
We all do. We all do.
We all do. Everybody bought that jersey.
It's actually the one hanging behind me, the green one. This green one behind me is the Cole. I just hung it up because I'm like, I'm never gonna wear this again. I love this jersey. Damn it! Why does it have Kovalchuk on the back?
I keep waiting. Yeah, Sam Wu on YouTube Live. What the heck is this primetime Sam Wu? $1.99.
Is that in Woo bucks?
Vega, what was that?
Is that in
Vega
Woo bucks
69
or money? 69 mega?
69 mega. Oh, they're going after him.
They're one of our top
Sam
listeners.
Wu's After Hours. Where does it lead? Nobody knows. But
private hockey chats with Sam Wu.
I also I'm gonna undo one button at a time.
It's a line change that you can't afford to miss.
I do want to bring up the hit on Miles Wood as well, because a lot of people were freaking out that was a dirty hit. A lot of people were saying that it was a clean hit. When you look at it from the angle that Miles Wood's back is to you, it does look like a clean hit. You're like, man, that's Scott Stevens circa 99 right there. That feels like the ghost of Stevens kind of going across the ice. But then when you look at it the other way, when you look at it where Miles Wood is actually coming towards the camera, the point of contact in that hit is 100% his jaw and his head. And McLeod jumping in and getting into a fight and sticking up for his teammate and then catching all the penalties for everything is one thing. But in there was a similar hit in a Kraken game. My brother and I were talking about it the other day, and the dude got a match penalty for that hit. Oof. It seems like it's so inconsistent with some of these checks, some of the big time checks. It's such a weird kind of bounce because you anybody that loves old time hockey is like, dude, yeah, whatever. He got his clock, his clock cleaned, move on, whatever. Some people are like, it's a clean hit. You just got, punished across the middle. But then you start talking about like the long-term ramifications of hits like that and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. My point is, I just want to see what you guys think. Do you think it was a clean hit, or do you think it was it should have been a penalty there?
At first, I thought it was just a really solid shot. But then once you get a chance to look at it a few times, like you said, from the opposite angle, here's the thing that gets me is Miles Wood, he had his head down there for a bit. And the puck was coming in. I feel like Romanov went up in his trajectory, kind of like lifted his shoulder up instead of lifting it just straight into you. And I think much like how football, they're teaching guys to tackle more around the body instead of the head, like don't aim towards the head type of thing. I think that's what they're getting at. It looks to me like he was trying to make contact with his chest, but he kind of missed. And Miles Wood's head was kind of down for a little bit, but Miles Wood is taller than him. So you got to think he's going up a little bit. And it's also, you're hitting pads. It can kind of slide a little and then pop him in the face. Was it intentional? I don't know. Did the shoulder connect to his face? Yeah, it did. I mean, you could see his nose was bleeding You know, like if his nose was bleeding after a shot to the chest, they better get him to the hospital like immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. His nose was bleeding because he took a fucking. Excuse me. Ooh,
Whoa!
I almost caught myself there. I caught it. I didn't go all the way through.
Oh man!
You almost Grant Marshalled the podcast.
Yeah. He took a shoulder to the face. You know, like was it intentional? I don't know. But like looking at it from that other angle, you're like, okay, you know, but then that's like it's like almost like college football. Do you allow for like the targeting type of like replays and stuff like that, you know, that you can look at afterwards? Because catching that at full speed, it's like it looked like you said, like an old school Stevens hit. You know, I was like, dang, he got rocked, you know? But then you see that other angle and you're like, oh, he got rocked in the face. You know, like, so it's tough. Do I think it was intentional? I don't think so. But did he get hit in the face? Yeah, he did. He got hit in the face.
Yeah, it's
I'll give it to Shorts Guy now. That's my spiel on it.
Yeah, I don't think I can really add much more than you already have. I also don't think it was intentional, but you know, he got hit in the face, and it's, you know, if you're going to call all head contact, you got to call all head contact. But I think the inconsistencies with a lot of the calls, it's something we can harp on. It's just one of those things. I haven't had time to pay attention because I've been busy doing a bunch of stuff the last 2 days. But my guess is there won't be. But you know, would love. You know, I'm curious if maybe someone will take a second look at it, maybe kind of a supplemental penalty be given. But I mean, it's one of those things where you can look at one play from 3 different angles and it'll look ugly at least from one of them. So, but I don't think there was any intent there. It just happens to be one of those things. It's a physical game, and it just sometimes you're going to have those those hits.
Now, I don't know because I didn't look into it. I don't know if he had to go into concussion protocol or if they're looking at anything like that. I don't think they've announced anybody or any of the lineup projections for tomorrow. But I will say this. I know there's a lot of hate going, not a lot of hate. I'll just say there's a lot of criticism from Devil fans that is being directed towards Alexander Holtz. And sometimes rightfully so. He did take 2 really bonehead penalties during that game. And sometimes he just kind of looks a little slow. He looks a little lost out there. To kind of switch gears from Miles Wood to Holtz, I think everybody has to be a little patient. But with that being said, I was thinking about this last night, you know, with the absence of Bastian, and you can tell that the team really does miss Nate Bastian out there. Should they look into maybe sending Holtz back down and maybe bringing up somebody like the pairing of Foote and Graham, because then you're bringing up a little bit more size to the team, which, like I said, you're missing with Bastian. You could bring those guys up and see if they can plug into the lineup and fit in. I don't know if the speed's going to be there because obviously I don't think either of those 2 guys are faster than Holtz. They're probably about the same, but do you think there should be a move in that direction?
I mean, I think they can bring someone up anyway if Miles Wood is going to be out for a little while. So there's that. But no, because Alexander Holtz was one of the Devils that I saw actually throwing the body afterwards. He took Matt Martin out on the boards. So if you're looking for he's not a small kid. He's actually a big guy. Like he threw some hits in that game. Yeah, he did take 2 boneheaded penalties. And I even wrote it down in my notes. I'm like, this is how to lose shifts in the 3rd period. Taking like 2 boneheaded penalties like that, you know? But he actually was throwing the body, and Lindy Ruff did have him out there in the 6-on-5 advantage for a good portion of the time. So I sending him down, I would say no, but yeah, calling up the next person you call up, a Graham or a Foote, because Miles Wood probably is going to be maybe out for a little bit. So you should have room on the roster to be able to call someone up. Yeah, definitely get some more beef into the lineup.
Yeah, bring up more size if that opportunity is there. But, you know, we should find out hopefully tomorrow.
You could also move Brendan Smith to left wing like he did,
Yeah.
previously,
true.
and bring Kevin Ball back into the lineup, which will definitely give you some more size there as well. So there's a couple different, and Brendan Smith is going to give you, more of that fourth liner, tough guy kind of like throwing the body and working those boards kind of approach to the game. If he's playing wing, then you can move Zetterlund back to a different line as well.
Yeah, but is that really what we want to do against the Rangers? That, you know what I mean? Like that. I don't know if that's like the recipe that you need to play the Rangers with putting Smith on the fourth line, but I don't know. I mean, are we going to see an appearance from Andre the Johnson Janssen? Is that because that's a very possible too.
That's not going to give you a lot more beef, but
no, it's not going to give you beef. But I mean, at least the one thing you could say about Janssen is that he can keep up with the rest of the speed of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that going for him.
It'll increase Sam's chances for a football call on next Devils After Dark. He'll have Marino and Janssen in the lineup. That's just
Oh my God! If it's a Marino to Janssen, connection,
we could only
Sam might be like, I got it. I gotta find my stuff. Where's my stuff? Somebody get my headset.
It's gonna be.
Where are your pants?
Like the Bears
pants right now. For those of you that are just listening on your car ride, that's us imitating smashing your chest, because that's how excited Sam Wu would be. He would have like that Spider-Man out of body experience with his soul would just leave his body and then come back with the soul of John Madden at his side. Well, what you got here?
And then boom, the puck goes in the net.
And boom, he hit him. You gotta watch a snap.
See, you got this guy here. He's got the stripe. See, he's gonna drop the puck. See, that's called a face-off. See, there he goes, and boom, he drops the puck.
Boom, boom. I can't believe it. Turducken. And then Sam snaps out of it, like the movie Ghost. And then Whoopi Goldberg comes in. She's like, "I narrated the 2003 Stanley Cup DVD." Yes,
we came up here. We tried some poutine, and I never had poutine before. Hey, there's poutine. Boom, right there.
Boom. That's the worst John Madden imitation I've ever heard.
I can't do John Madden. Yeah.
Oh, I like. By the way, somebody mentioned in the very early portion of the podcast, they're like, "Hey, it's an all-star lineup. All three guys are back. Well, four with Sam, but he's popping up, and he pops up every once in a while. He hasn't shown up yet. As we're saying all this, he hasn't shown up. So maybe he's just sitting
means
there.
He's not paying attention.
He's not paying attention at all. Working a soundboard.
We should say though that you can see it scrolling on the top of your screen. We're going to be at our Let's Stagehouse Tavern in Mountainside tomorrow for Game Day Live and Devils After Dark. For the Rangers game, which will be at MSG. Oh, and Arlette's going to be DJing. I knew she was going to sing some, but she's going to be DJing as well. Okay, so if you can, Mountainside, Stagehouse Tavern.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I think that's on 22, right? That's right on 22.
It is on 22, yeah.
22?
I have no idea.
Well, there's two of them. There's one in the middle of Scotch Plains, and there's another one on 22. Which, by the way, I have no idea if they're
the mountains. Yeah, I think it's right on the highway though, right?
Mountainside, yeah.
Route 22 eastbound.
Okay.
Eastbound.
I think it was
Eastbound
called
and down.
something different when I lived. Eastbound and down. I think it was called something different when I lived there. So I'm glad that Arlette's now the owner and proprietor. Because she rocks.
She owns it. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Well, I don't know. I just said that.
No,
I hope so.
No. Well, technically, she does. Her boyfriend owns it.
All right. That's what I meant to say.
But she's the boss.
Owner by proxy.
Yeah.
She's boss. That's
she's
all that matters.
Yep. Just like me. Mrs. Wu, owns everything I got.
Mrs. Wu is the boss.
Yeah,
she
is definitely a boss, which is why I left.
She is not looking forward to there being a John Marino to Andreas Janssen goal tomorrow night. If that possibility arises.
Actually, now that we've activated the super chats in the YouTube live. Mrs.
What
Wu
is
said that I could be bought if you donate $25 to the super chats.
What are you talking about?
What is this? What's a super chat? I don't
All right,
know what the
so-
hell that is.
I have no idea either.
Somebody said, "Hey, you could activate the super chats like about maybe 15
It
podcasts
sounds like
ago."
you're a part of a pyramid scheme and you don't realize it.
Seriously.
Yeah, what is this?
Hey, it's a total Ponzi scheme. It's like if you want to get your message, if
Where'd
you
you
want to
meet
get
this
your
person in the alley of Newark and they were like, by the way, you on YouTube? You on YouTube? Oh, super chat. Just give me $25. I'll show you how to do it. Super chat. It's called the super duper duper chat
It's-
if you give me
it's a way.
$100.
It's the way to tip us. Remember, we're still shooting for that $35 million jet.
Oh.
So I decided
Oh,
to
this is
say,
like
so I was
YouTube's way of
experimenting.
Patreon, basically.
Yeah. So I
okay.
just tipped ourselves $1.99, and then if the users want, like, for example,
Wow,
Devil's
you
After
couldn't
Dark.
even go $2, huh? Couldn't
Yeah.
even go $2. Like $1.99.
I didn't know how. I didn't know how. But just say if the users
You didn't know
say-
how to hit 2.00? You didn't know how to do that?
You sure knew how to put
You know how to hit
1.99 in there.
1.99.
It was an introductory offer.
Did you get free shipping and handling with that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Steven
But wait.
Angle just said that YouTube takes 30% of the super chats.
That's why you got to donate
Oh.
more, people.
Oh,
Well,
tack that 30% on there, then I guess, huh? Is that
yeah. So what?
Sam was saying?
So you just paid yourself how much? How much is 30% of $1.99? Like, I'm not doing math.
Oh, Dave
I'll show you.
Singer. Hey, Dave Singer just
Why $1.99, Dave? Why, Dave?
I
We're
don't
not
know,
worth
$2. Hey, you know what?
Thank you, Dave. Thank
You
you,
know
Dave.
what?
Thank you,
Those that are
Dave.
making fun of Dave Singer, you know
We're not
what?
making fun.
I'm not making fun of him.
No,
They
I'm
just
just
paid
saying.
$1.99.
Hey,
the old
hey,
fund
you know
over
what?
here.
I remember the days we only had 5 viewers. Now we're
Oh, yeah.
making places.
I
So,
remember
like,
that.
$1.99 rolling in the money.
So
man.
on Friday
Seriously.
night, when that Siegenthaler fan was dancing out
$3.98.
there, if people donated $39, I would have went out there and danced with her. Like this.
Those
You
are
do all
those are
sorts
some
of
moves.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Some
Those
moves,
are some
Sam.
moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you got the
Ugh.
Powerade. You're getting yourself ready. Getting yourself ready in case there's a Janssen call up, and then Janssen.
It's got to be
Marino
Janssen to Marino, though.
No, it
We
has
really
to be
wanna see
Marino
a
to
Jan- Or
Janssen.
Marino to Janssen. Yeah.
Marino
It's
to
got to be.
Janssen.
So we have both football
The
guys
wor-
in the
The
football
internet
call.
will implode. The internet will absolutely implode. This man has broken the internet. He brought back the ghost of John Madden.
And boom!
And boom, all of a sudden, Marino to Janssen.
Can we
How
get
about
Sam
that?
like the telestrator? So he could draw.
Oh
something
yeah,
here.
yeah. I could
And they got
hook
good
up my
popcorn in that
iPad.
section.
I can hook up my iPad.
Oh man, that'd be
Hey,
wild.
how
Can we
much
get
is,
like a still of the game? Like of the goal.
We are
Oh,
we
boy.
are way off the rails, but can we? How much is a what is that? The
That's
cameo.
That's Sam's football call.
If we can get the cameo for what's that dude that does
John
the
Madden?
great impersonation? Yeah, the John Madden impersonation.
Oh,
what the heck is
Frank
his name?
Caliandro.
Yeah, there you go. You should- if it ever happens, I will kick in money just to do that and have it do a live on the podcast. Oh, you see,
boy.
I can't.
Why should you kick him money? We should ask our fans to kick him money on that.
Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah,
$1.99 at a time, guys.
$1.99.
Super chat.
Can't even buy
Anthony, I
lottery
think that's
tickets for
a
$1.99.
one-time thing. I don't think you have to pay $1.99 for each episode, bud. I think it's whatever you feel like donating.
Yeah,
If you feel like donating.
still trying to figure that thing out. I was like, oh, there's a $sign near my chat button. I'm gonna try that.
If only
Money.
we could, if only we had a fan who's like a wealthy millionaire who's like, I just want to throw money away and buy these boys a jet. Here you go, super chat it away, boys, and they just donate $1 million.
That'd be amazing if David Blitzer
Why they
watches this
sound
podcast and did something like that.
They have a monocle. Somebody get me my good monocle. I want to make sure I give these boys the right amount. $1.99.
Oh man, here we are on the Monopoly board.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the
Monopoly
gangster
man.
Monopoly man.
Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See? Oh.
Yeah, see?
Oh, God. So how do they respond? It's the same way we responded. We laugh in the face of adversity. And they go out there and they beat the hell out of the rags. That's what they're going to do.
That's what they need
Title
to
of
do.
this. That's what they need to do.
I think the Devils
So-
will respond, though. They've shown us
But sure-
all
Yeah,
year that they've been
they have.
able to
Yeah.
play smart, adjust. I mean, damn, they're what? What are they? 19-2-1 in the last whatever it is, or like that? How long ever those stretches been? They've lost what, 5 games all season out of 27? Like, they're gonna have one off game, and it
Yeah.
didn't even last
They're-
like the full game. Like they
Oh,
kicked it into
I
high
remember they
gear.
broke up
99
halfway through.
cents. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh,
Hey,
baby,
Singer. Hey.
we found our sugar
Hey,
mama.
if you,
Dave
the more
Singer.
you donate, I might do a stitch Dave Singer on the side of my hat, like the Devils have on the side of their helmet.
Another 99 cents, and Beer Baron will get your name tattooed on him somewhere. We'll get Mickey to do it.
No, a hell of a lot
seriously.
more than 99 cents to do that.
We'll video the whole thing. We'll go
No, we
live.
can have Nikki
live.
do it. Yeah, we'll have Nikki do it live from Beer Baron's little studio there in the bathroom.
Dude, I'll tell
Yeah.
you. Actually, I'm not in the bathroom anymore. I'm in my art studio. It's been in my art studio for quite some time. So, yes, I do have an art studio. Yes.
Nerd.
Nerd. Yeah, art nerd. You gonna draw me a picture? You draw a picture of the Devils? Yeah, probably. I might. I actually might. How about that? I might do that for you. $1.99. I will. Draw a picture of the Devils for you. Sure. Here's a cup. I'll draw the cup.
Watch.
There's
$1.99,
Jack-
I'll do it.
Yeah. Be careful what you say
for sure.
because
Dude,
be
I'm
careful.
for sale. I don't care.
Be careful what you say. Next thing you know, it's gonna be $15.99 donations looking for pictures that you have to draw now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You know what the thing is? I always said I would sell out in a heartbeat. If you start shoving money in front of us, like I'll be like, oh, sure. What do you want? I'll make a coloring book with your face on it. Why not? Jeez. Anyways, one thing I wanted to ask you, Shorts Guy,
What's up?
is we were watching all of us watched the game last night. Was that last night? My brain just skipped a beat.
Friday.
Night. Their schedule's so weird because they'll play like 4 games in a week and then they'll be like, we'll just play 2 in a week, whatever. We'll just
Yeah.
mess with your head.
Yeah, next week is 4 games.
Yep.
It is 4 games. So
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
this 4-game stretch, if you're the coach and you coach a team, if you're a coach, what do you do to remedy the defense? Because the defense hasn't been playing bad all year. They've been playing pretty darn good. So you look at the tape, you think it's, if you can assume that it's not all on Vanacek and you want to say there was too many defensive breakdowns, is this something that you think that they can remedy relatively quick, or is it like, all right, boys, we had a bad game, like knock it off? Is it just a stern
it's-
talking to they need?
No, it depends what the coaching staff sees when they look at the tape. Obviously, they were going to watch the tape afterwards. I'm assuming that between Friday night and tomorrow or today, they probably had some kind of a practice along with an off day. I would assume with the heavy week coming up this week. So my guess is there was video analysis that they had to watch, and if they were on ice, and any kind of drill to help to remedy any situation that the coaching staff saw as completely egregious. But it also could have been just basic defensive drills just to kind of get them back into that into that pattern, into that mindset, and just back into the routine of doing the right defensive plays. And then just maybe harping on in practice, like, first to the puck, your defensive coverage, comes first when you're in the defensive zone. It's stuff like that. It was one game, and that should be easily correctable because they woke up pretty quickly, or they woke up partway through the game. So they're able to adjust on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just use your practice time to, just shore up those little defensive practices that they want to see them, continue to do, especially because looking at the schedule this week, away to the Rangers tomorrow, home to Dallas on Tuesday, Wednesday no game, Thursday game, Friday off, Saturday game. My guess is there's not going to be a lot of time to practice. So any mistakes that they caught from Friday, they should have taken care of over the last 2 days if there's practice, because you're going to get some maybe optional pregame skates this week, but I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't have a full scale practice again until maybe next Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah,
oh, go ahead.
You just got to take care of it. No, I was just going to finish up saying that they would have had to have taken care of it today or yesterday.
So it also seems like of late, in this stretch of like the last 10 games, that the Devils seem to get off to like a little bit of a slow or sluggish start.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, like, just throwing your coaching hat out there, or just kind of like looking at the team, can you speculate like why that would be, that they're getting off to a slow start? Or like, is it all right preaching patience, and because you don't want to keep falling into these holes and then trying to dig out, because it's going to be bad news bears.
I think part of it, and I'll let Shorts Guy, finish it. I think part of it is they have confidence that they can come back and score goals.
Yeah, but
that's not an excuse. Yeah, I know it's not an excuse, but I think that's part of it is they feel they can score, then they're going to get those opportunities. But go ahead, Shorts Guy.
Yeah, sometimes it could be a lax mindset like that, kind of like you're suggesting there, Scotty. Sometimes it's from the coach's point of view. You can do all your preparations and practice, but for some reason, it's just like it just happens, and there's really no rhyme or reason for it. If it continues, then maybe you're looking into maybe you do something with the practice where you start off skating really hard at practice, maybe like a bag. I don't want to say bag skate, but a really good fast-paced drill to start practice off, and then maybe that'll translate to game time. It's just one of those things where the coaching staff is just going to have to kind of constantly remind them that they've got to wake up, they've got to go out there. And then maybe at that point too, whatever line wants to start off fast and hard, that's who you go to with the starting, for your starting line, and reward that. Sometimes it's mental, we got to remember we're still a young team, so it could definitely just be a total mental thing. But it's one of those mysteries that sometimes when you're a coach, it's like you look at what's going on, you're like, what the hell are you doing? This is nothing that we have preached before the game. Like, what the hell?
One of my favorite Lombardi quotes is just like the what the hell's going on out there? Like, because as you're watching, like you said, that you have that moment, you're like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, and that's the point where you start throwing words out there on the ice that you can't necessarily say here on the podcast, which I'm guilty of doing that a lot in my coaching career.
Yeah. Well, it's good then, because you coach older kids. If you're coaching, like Pee Wee, I'd be like, oh, there's this guy's got a problem. He's got out there, cussing up a storm.
It was like the Ted Lasso guy.
It was high school. It was high school level, so they were familiar with they were familiar with everything we said.
Yeah, they're like, we'll teach you a word. No, I didn't know what that meant. Yeah, it's funny too, because like you watching it from the outside in. Sometimes you're just kind of like, why do we have to wait to turn it on? Like, why do we have to wait until the second period to really, because statistically the Devils are really not good in the first period this year. They are damn good in the second period, like one of the I think the best team in the second period, and the third period they just close you out, or they put you to sleep. So it's like, damn, if we could just get that first period locked up, they would be, listen, they're already good, and standing wise they're great, but you could see a pattern start to evolve where it's like, okay, you're letting yourself have a sense of, like Scotty said, like a sense of security that bubble's going to pop. And then there's going to be games where you can't come back. There's going to be games where the other goaltender's standing on his head, or, you're getting, you're going against a top team that you can't rely on that. Like, hey, we'll get it there. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, Florida was guilty of that last year. Florida was going down and having to win games 6-5. What did they beat us like 6-5 or something stupid like that after we had a huge lead. Florida was guilty of that often last year, and when it got to the playoffs, it wasn't good. So it's something that here we are. It's December now, so it's something that they're just going to have to figure out a way to correct it. Before it becomes a bad habit. Right now it seems seems to be a habit which they're finding success with turning it around. But when it becomes a bad habit, and like you said, you run into a goaltender that's hot and they just can't, then you're chasing a game, and that's the worst position to be in is chasing a game, because you just, one wrong move and then you're down another goal, and it's just it could be a mess. So it's something that the coaching staff is, I'm sure, harping on them often.
Yeah.
But it's just something's not clicking, or there's something in the pregame mindset that's got to change. Maybe words in the locker room that have to change. Maybe who the hell knows? We're not privy to those situations, but it's something has to change in order for them to. It could be something small. It could be completely changing up the warm up. Or
Yeah,
at least,
and by the
adding
way,
something into or taking away from the warm up. Maybe changing the warm up. I don't know. It could be something that simple.
what's the common theme? What's the common theme between Florida last year and the Devils this year? What's the one thing they have in common?
We're winning.
Their coach.
No.
Their coach.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh,
So
good call.
that
Yeah, it is a
mindset,
good call.
coming from Florida, hopefully it's something that he learned as well, and he could kind of rectify that as saying, like, listen, guys, been there, done that. Like, we can't keep getting into the situation where we're digging ourselves into a hole. Like, don't let this become, like you said, don't let it become a habit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, the thing is too is it hasn't really getting us into too much of a hole, because Vanacek and Schmid and Blackwood have all been playing lights out. So there's been times where we maybe should have been down like 2 or 3-0, but it was 0-0 tie, or maybe 1-0, like something like that, or 1-1 tie. Like, I don't feel like the Devils are. I got to look at this. I mean, I know they're plus something ridiculous in the second period, like a plus 40 or something like that. But I would have to look at where their stat is for the first period. But our goaltending, I think that's the big difference also, is our goaltending has just been so insanely solid, making those huge timely saves. And I feel like every team the Devils play, we say, the goaltender stood on his head tonight, making an incredible amount of saves, because the Devils get a lot of high-quality chances. When you got that threesome going out there of Bratt, Nico, and Hughes, like, if one scores, they're like little kids, like all 3 little brothers. Like, if one scores, the other one's got to do it as well, and then the other one's got to do it too. Like, they're getting on the score sheet like all the time. Once one gets on, there's like, Jesper Pratt's gonna get. Hughes got to go. Jack Boy's got an assist on a Jesper Pratt goal. It's like they're always trying to make out.
They're on 100 point. They're on like a 92 to 100 point pace right now, which is amazing.
That's
insane.
That would be so
Loving.
wild.
So fun.
Love it.
And just keep it going.
But I think that's something to think about as well. Is I feel like every team we play, we're like, the goalie for the opposition could have been one of the 3 stars of the night, because they made some like incredible saves, like the majority of the games. The Devils were throwing like we were doing a thing on Devils After Dark, but we were doing like Slayer, raining blood. We were doing raining pucks for every game that the Devils had over 35 shots, and we did it quite often. It became a thing. So that tells you how often it was happening.
And that's the other, that confidence of slow starts could be a byproduct of having that stellar goaltending, to the point where the player's like, Vanacek's got it, or Schmid's got it, or Blackwood's got it. Because there are going to be games, when whoever's in net doesn't have it. And if it's a combination of one of those games where a slow start and whoever's in net is fighting the puck, you can go down and you can go down quick. But the one thing the Devils seem to have done well is they've responded to when they've had to pull the goalie and make a goalie change. That kind of wakes them up too, it seems like. Because whoever they throw in that backup role winds up playing quite well. I don't know. It could also be one of those things that can be rectified by like just a team meeting in the locker room too. Like, hey, we got to wake up. We can't do this anymore, and becoming more accountable to each other as well.
Sometimes it feels like they wait till Lindy kind of like messes with the line combos a little bit, and then all of a sudden they just like take off. It's like, and he usually does that in the second period. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a mystery for right now. It's a mystery.
That's the beauty
the goaltenders
of
keep playing well. It helps.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of the
absolutely, and that's what
season.
we all want.
I mean, you look at the season and the way they're playing right now, being first in the NHL, being first in points, and then you get to a point as a fan where you get comfortable and you're like, this team is just damn good. But listen, the reality is it's an 82 game season, so there's going to be dips. There's going to be points where the team's not going to look good. There's going to be games like the Islander game where they're getting their doors blown off, but it was good to see them fight all the way down to the end and make it like entertaining, at least in the very last period. But
I think they'll remember that game.
I think so.
I think
too.
they're going to have the next one circled on the calendar next time they play the Islanders.
I think it's kind of like the point of what we're talking about tonight is like not just the next time they play the Islanders. You want them to have tomorrow night circled as like, boys, we got to go out there smoking. We got to go out there like like our hair is on fire. They know what they did to the Rangers last game, but let's not forget the Rangers kept it close. And the final score 5-3 is not an indication of how that game was going, because the Rangers had the Devils on their heels in the last like couple minutes of that game. The thing is like you want to just go ahead.
And let's not forget we started by going down 2 in the first period.
Yeah, right away, like within the first 2 minutes.
It was quick, yeah. It was quick because and it was great because like I think I mentioned last week I was on air with Billy Dean on Hockey Untapped, and he went from just this super high to a super low, being up 2-0, and all of a sudden it was 2-2.
That's how we felt like every other game last year. The Devils would go up and you'd be like, all right, and then it'd be down. The Devils would go up like 2-0 or something like that, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go get a sandwich, and you come back and they're down 7-2, and you're like, what the hell just happened? It's pretty much that high and low, the roller coaster of being a fan. Well, in all things considered, going into MSG, I wonder if it's going to be another Devils takeover in the stands. I wonder if there's going to be a large presence of Devil fans in the stands again tomorrow. Because that made me more than happy to hear "Let's Go Devils" chants and people, getting on Igor Shesterkin. That was amazing. That was amazing because that's something that we've been tormented with our entire fandom. I just hope they go out and they get out there, they get out to an early lead, and they put the game behind them, and they just put it away. Play solid defensively. Hopefully that last game they're like, oh, tighten it up, boys. Like we're getting a little too comfortable.
Yeah, and that's why you watch.
He's going to be there tomorrow, leading the
There you
charge.
go.
He'll be there.
It'll be good for him.
Heck yeah.
No, it's okay. It's great for Vinny to be able to go tomorrow, and to be able to kind of lead that charge at MSG. I can't tell you the last time I was at MSG for a Devil Ranger game. It's been a very long time. I don't think it would have been fun the last couple of years, but I know we all have stories.
I remember Hans. I think there was a. I remember there was a homeless guy, or I forgot. There was one guy. And I guess he was playing. Was it the harmonica or I forgot what? And he did the. Could you play this? Dot 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 dot. And people were just paying the guy. Just so we could yell "Rangers suck," right afterwards.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, we've had some great times.
Yes, we have.
Good time, great oldies.
Going back to memory lane. Hey, you're the carnival owner. Anyways, I'm getting to like a weird Wayne's World moment. So as we're getting down towards the wire here, I was trying to look at my phone's like acting all funny. I was trying to look at the schedule for this upcoming week, which I'm going to pull it up now. But I saw in the YouTube chat somebody was saying that it's important that the Devils pull at least 3 points in the next 2 games. I don't disagree with that. I feel like this next game, Dave Singer was calling a must-win. He might not be off. With his
I'd call it a must-win.
$2.98 donation to the podcast.
It's a divisional game. It's a must-win. It's
100%
a divisional game against your biggest rival. It is a must-win.
Whatever Dave
Tuesday's
Singer
going to be
says,
difficult.
He's right.
Tuesday's going to be difficult because Dallas is doing quite well. So that'll be 2 difficult games back to back. So we're going to see 2 different goaltenders in those 2 games. And then again, you got another divisional game against with Philly on Thursday. So it's it's going to be a tough week. But the back-to-back,
and then Florida,
2 really good.
Florida right after
coming
that
in Saturday. Yeah.
And then after that, you got Carolina and Florida again, and then Boston. It's a tough stretch for the Devils. I'm actually really excited.
It's a good test.
It's going to be
a good test.
It's going to be a great test. To see how they can muster this up. They got a tough away game at MSG. Then you got 3 at home. Then you're 2 on the road, Carolina on the road and Florida on the road, and then Boston at home. Boston, it's twice they play Boston at home,
and then it goes Boston.
Yeah,
it's like
schedule's so weird this year.
It is very weird, but this is this next stretch of like 8 games is going to be the gauntlet to prove that they're one of the top teams in the NHL. I believe. It's funny because Siegenthaler said the other day in an interview he was talking about like. We keep going out there and putting up points, and we keep doing what we're doing, and people still keep doubting us. And I think we need to prove a point, something along those lines. So I might have made up half of that, but whatever. It's along those lines. But and then I stabbed the guy with a trident. But I really feel like this team. Listen, keep sleeping on them. Let the media keep talking trash about the Devils. Let people keep doubting them. I think a lot of people are starting to come around and feel like this team is the real deal. But the more that they get kind of like the underdog chip on the shoulder mentality, that goes a long way, dude. In sports, having somebody go up to like Jack Hughes and be like, "You guys are not good." Like, what's going to make you be more consistent? When they were on that 9-game heater at the time, like you could see it in his face. He was pissed off. He's like, "Dude, what? We're winning games." All right, we'll just keep winning more. Like, so I hope people keep crapping on the Devils and saying that they're not a real contender. And I hope they go through the next 8 games where they, take 6 out of 8 or whatever it is, or even more. Hell, just go on another streak. Go streaking again. Why not?
Yeah, right.
In a perfect world.
Well, it's like what Art Heaton says. We need Devils versus everyone shirts. It's that whole mindset.
Yeah.
That we had Devils fans against the world. And, bring it on. Bring it on. I mean, we see all the garbage that's been out in the media recently, and it's just, it's like what, the attendance? Like you're really going to go there? It's just
easy
stupid.
Picking.
Yeah.
Picking.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Yep. Always has been, always will be.
And
the Devils' attendance.
And don't let
those numbers are like skewed because the beginning of the year, the attendance was down for a little bit, and now it's back up.
Yep. And don't let me have to repeat the story of what we did to Howard Berger that one time. Remember that guy?
Yes.
Let's just say he's well done. Sorry. Little Berger humor.
Do you remember Howard Berger? Do you remember the Howard Berger incident? Beer Baron, do you remember that? We're going back to the Meadowlands.
My brain is like half mashed potatoes. What do you want from me? Yeah, go ahead. Tell me the story. Recant the story because I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh, well, now Dave Singer wants it. He might rescind his $2.98 donation. So,
all right, for $4.99, Dave Singer, I'll tell the story. Come on.
Oh.
All right, Dave Singer, I'll throw you.
Come on. digging into this guy's pockets.
This guy, Howard Berger, on HockeyBuzz.com back in 2006, 2007, reporter out of Toronto. And one time, he wrote a blog that he stayed at at a hotel near Montclair State University. Mm-hmm. And he said that it was a 10-minute drive from Montclair State University to Continental Airlines Arena. And he referred to Devils fans as being lazy to get to the games. And when he drove between 1 to 2 p.m., not during rush hour, if you remember.
Whoa,
Route 3.
Wait, pause.
Joseph.
Can we get fries with that? $5.99.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Absolutely. At American Whiskey. Just tell me who you are, show ID. I'll get you some fries with that. So thank you, Joseph. Anyway.
Is that what our donation is to pre-order food at American Whiskey?
Or just a pre-order service?
Yeah. Here's $16.99. Here you go. Get me a burger.
Dave Singer, who? Joseph is my new best friend right now.
Dave Singer, who?
Let me tell this story.
And
keep the money flowing, everybody. Keep the money flowing. So let me tell this story. So anyway, so we wrote this blog, and it caused a whole storm. So I wrote a blog back rebutting him. But back in those days, I didn't know journalist etiquette.
Yeah,
you did.
So we called him
you did
bum.
not.
Called him a lot of them nasty words.
Oh yeah, I poked holes. So there was a complaint. I didn't, I'm not a professional writer, but he was, and he was mad. But the fans were mad too. So what happened was there were printouts of his image. Put in the urinals all over Continental Airlines Arena with the article that he wrote, the blog he wrote, posted on the wall, and every single urinal in the Continental Airlines Arena, and then I got in trouble, not for that, but with my blog, and I had to actually apologize to Howard Berger on that. But at the same time, it's like, Howard, do you realize these fans want to kill you? Don't you realize, when you call them lazy and write something like that it's only a 10 to 15-minute trip? I don't know what you're talking about, getting to the game. When you didn't go during rush hour, it used to take hours at times. If there was one traffic accident, it would take hours to get to a game.
Yeah. We talked about that last week, about how fun it was to be at Continental, and then how not fun it was to get there or leave Continental. So
yeah.
And yes, being 16W as the exit was the one of the highlights of that.
Playoff perfection.
16W.
Yep.
But
Dave Singer, my God, you are my new best friend again. Move over, Joe. That deserves
$9.99. I'm gonna have to get it stitched on the side of my hat soon.
Holy crap!
I don't know when that's gonna happen, but we'll have to get a special hat.
This super chat is brought to you by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. Joseph Lanham lays down $5.99. And he gets hit by Dave Singer, $9.99. Thank you very much. Game over. Dave Singer, thank you.
That's burger, fries, and a drink.
There you go.
So,
Yeah. That's for food, Sam. That's for food.
I can't wait for
That's for food. It's not for us.
somebody just tuning in right now and they're like, what in the hell's going on? Or somebody listening to the car ride tomorrow.
That's for the chicken fingers.
What
He's gonna throw them at the podcast instead of the ice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Sam's got enough things spilling onto his equipment while he's at the
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I spend like a half an hour just taking, wipes and wiping the speakers off with all the beer and stuff, ketchup, on the equipment. But anyway,
How does ketchup?
Well, that was you, Sam. Come on. We know
yeah, that was probably.
I think the liquor was from Vinny. As soon as we hung up, it's the first thing he sees. Like all these birthday shots start getting passed over to Vinny. I was like, oh boy, have a good
Here we
time,
go.
fellas.
Tomorrow night,
right.
boys.
Well, I think
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
final
night.
thoughts, folks.
Tomorrow night, Stagehouse.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, Stagehouse. I'll just jump right in. I don't even care. I'll just jump in right in with my final thoughts. Tomorrow night, Stagehouse. A very, very tiny, small, slight possibility that I might be able to make an appearance as well, but I'm not sure. I can't confirm or deny those allegations that I might be able to show up.
Okay.
But I will say this much:
All right.
it is going to be one hell of a good time. Shorts guy's going to be there. Arlette's going to be hanging out, right? Am I wrong about that? Am I right about that?
You're
No,
right.
you're correct. Arlette's going to be there
Correct
and
about
singing.
that.
So
And singing and singing.
And DJing.
and singing.
You
DJing and
guys
singing.
better get out there. Dave Singer, bring that $9.99, which is now up to, I can't do math real quick. We'll just call it an even $12, close to that. And you can grab yourself a beer out there. It's going to be a great time. I hope everybody gets a chance to go out there. I hope everybody has a good time. Be responsible. Be safe. Devils tomorrow. Prediction. It's going to be another 5-1 victory by your New Jersey Devils as they just roll past the Rangers in a very impressive win to rebound from getting a little wet from those dirty Islanders. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'll say yes, if you can, get out to the Stagehouse tomorrow, Stagehouse Tavern on Route 22 in Mountainside. See the crew, see the team, do a little game day live and a little Devils After Dark. So that'll be
5
awesome.
Dicka 97. Sorry, I had to just.
5 Dicka. Is Dicka doing the donating? Then I gotta go Dicka. I gotta go Dicka.
It's gonna be Devils 5, Dicka 97.
843.
Short bench. It's just him playing goal. You think Jack Hughes is good? Dicka out there playing goal
Wait, see
and
Dicka.
forward.
The Devils.
Oh,
You
man.
need to jump in.
The Devils. All right. I'll say, you know what? I'll give them another ENG at the end. I'll say Devils 5-3 again over the Rangers.
All right. So my final thought come out tomorrow. Like you guys have said, I'll be there, and I printed up a fresh batch of Rangers Suck T-shirts. So if you need one, I will have them for sale tomorrow. Come see me. And I'm going to say Devils win 4-3.
Whoa,
So it'll be a
Dave
tight
Singer
one
and you
tomorrow.
said that at the same exact time.
Boom. There you go. 4-3.
Boom.
But we'll
He's
do that. You know, if I can dig it out, I'll find my Rangers Suck flag tomorrow for the podcast as well.
Do it.
I wish Sam had the teleprompter or straighter right now. See this guy over here. He just said 4-3, and then this guy over here on the YouTube. See right over here. He said the 4-3. Boom. They said the same thing. Sorry.
Still the worst John
The
Madden.
worst John Madden impersonation ever
Yeah.
in the history of the land.
I
It
can't
sounds
really.
so good in my head.
I can't really read the small print on the chat unless you do a super chat where it's nice and big where I can see it. The predictions.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Good times.
Anyway. All right.
Oh,
My predictions. I'm not going to do a shutout like I have been lately. I'm thinking 7-4 Devils. I think it's going to be a
Ooh,
nice
what a weird
affair.
score. What a
7-4.
weird score.
Seriously.
7-4.
All right.
7-4.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Gonna hit the music. Where's that music button?
Dun, 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 dun.
No, we only have one track at the moment. We're gonna have to live with it
Fortunately.
till we figure this whole thing out. Anyway.
Maybe we should write our own music. There's enough musicians in this group.
There you go.
All
Real
right.
sultry. Maybe we should ask Arlette, can you help us make the new intro. And can it be like an old school like sitcom like da 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 da? It's a da 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 da. And it will be like
now you need a whole crew.
turn.
Uh,
Let's Go Devils podcast. Ba, 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 ba. Something like that.
That's like a Japanese
Like the old
anime,
WFAN, like the old W.
yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, jeez.
It sounds like an anime intro or something.
Oh, it's like I'm thinking of like the old school like WFAN like intros and stuff like that. Like
Like a little jingle.
yeah, it's Scotty and the short Scotty and the beer baron, and here comes Sam with his witty banter. Look out, everyone! It's the Let's Go Devils podcast.
Oh, Sam, just play the music. Just play the music.
That
Cut
was
him
the
off.
music, baby. That was the music.
Oh, God.
Well, we'll see you at Stage House Tavern tomorrow in Mountainside, New Jersey. Come out. Also, a special thank you to Dave Singer, Joe Lanham, and myself. I'm sorry, I'm going through the thing. And Steve Engel and everybody, thank you. Till next time, let's go Devils.